We've upgraded the world to 1.21, and this update has added a lot of things like paintings and autocrafters, but most of it is locked away behind these trial chambers. So today we're going to go take a look at these and hopefully get a mace, hopefully get a little bit more, and we'll see what happens. So we're nearing the end of our first trial chamber, and so far we haven't used any ominous bottles to create an ominous trial because some of the loot is unique to non-ominous trials. So I decided just to let our first go around be a little chill, and I've gotten the bolt armor trim, so now we're ready to go on to the ominous trials. And right now I'm just trying to get the kill a breeze with his own breeze ball achievement. Come on, oh my god. It died on the magma. I guess we're now ready to try out the ominous trials, and even if they're a little bit harder than the normal trials, they shouldn't be too hard, especially since we have max diamond gear. It looks like they just are spawning with gear and tools now. Just a potato. So we're about to open our first ominous vault, and we only have about a 1 in 13 chance of getting a mace, but you know, here we go. Burst 1. Okay, that sucked. That was terrible. Let's go! Wow! Okay, I think the copper is probably the best loot from here. So we brought over these allays so that they can do something special for us, and I think the easiest way to get them to do that would be to get them some items and force them to go into this hole. We have one of them, but the other one is being stupid. There we go. So what we can do now is just press this button, and eventually silverfish will collect here. And if you're interested in how it works, all that's going on is that the allays are splashed with a potion of infestation. And since they're taking damage from the campfire, they constantly spawn silverfish. And since allays naturally regenerate, they will never die, so they're just infinitely producing silverfish. So when the silverfish chamber fills up, there's more than 90 of them, meaning that it fills up the mob cap. However, it can also do something else. In the chamber, we can access these two dispensers with wind charging and instant damage. So what this does is that we can splash in with the wind charging and splash in with the harming, and then we go up. So today we're going to be working over here near the cactus farm, and what we're going to be doing involves all the copper we got from the trial chamber. And all the copper comes waxed. However, it's already oxidized, so it doesn't really matter. So if you ever want to use the other forms of copper, we're going to have to get rid of the wax and then shear it off. So we're going to need a lot of wax if we ever want to use any of this copper. We actually already have a bee farm down here in this cave, but there's not that many beehives, and it's also only manual, so it's pretty slow. And this gave me a lot of troubles while working on the last episode, because gathering up 12 honey blocks is pretty hard when that's all you have. So today we're going to build up a automatic bee farm that's going to gather up wax and honey for us. And it already gathered up all the supplies besides the beehives, which we're going to need more than those in the cave. So we got it all done here, and what we have is just 3 layers where 2 of them are collecting honey bottles and the top is collecting honeycomb. And at the top here we just have observers facing the bee nests, and whenever the observers detect a change in the honey level, it uses shears to shear it, and then it just drops it to some hoppers. And for the lower 2 levels we just have the ENX04 design for the honey bottles, where empty bottles just filter through the dispensers in this ring, and whenever a bee nest gets filled with honey, it gets turned into honey bottles, where this item filter filters it out and it gets spewed into this auto crafter where it gets turned into honey bottles. And oh, we just saw it go. And so the honey block and the new bottles come over here where the honey blocks themselves get filtered out, and this item, this hopper, and then the empty bottles go back into the system, and everything is just spewed down into a central tube where it gets down here below, and we can see we gathered quite a bit already. What I want to do for the rest of today is just cover this up, make it look nice, make a building just like this one more or less, and yeah, let's get started on it because I already have all the materials gathered. So we're just putting the finishing touches on right now with these armor stands at the top. So from down here, the armor stands start to look like something like a statue or a gargoyle, and it adds very nice detail to the top of the building. I have found an issue though, that these trapdoors are toggled by the farm itself, so I think it can easily fix by using some levers to constantly power the trapdoors so that they don't flick on and off. Yeah, so for this building I wanted to use some of the new blocks. We have the trapdoors down here, we have the chisel tough, we have the chisel tough bricks, the tough walls, we have the copper grates as windows, and we have the copper bulb right here. And I think we did a really good job in creating this kind of like gritty industrial office building, and yeah, I liked how it turned out. We can come back here to check how much honey we've made during this whole process, and yeah, So we clearly made it quite a bit, and don't worry about this like temporary thing. We're going to make the collection a lot better in the future. Now, slowly but surely, we have a little town coming together. And as you can see in the back, I cleared out a little space for what we're going to do next episode. So let's just wrap things up and get to the comment of the day. I find it kind of funny that Mojang acknowledged that there's an inventory issue by giving you trash cans in the chambers instead of trying to fix the issue. Hopefully they try to do something about this in the 1.22 update. And this comment was from UY Nico. So what this comment is referring to is all the chests in the trial chambers that do not contain any loot inside of them. These chests are purposely left empty because they're for players to dump their extra loot in, and since every other naturally spawning chest has loot in it, it caused quite an uproar. So soon, Mojang are going to replace these empty chests with hoppers on top of barrels, so players know that they are trash cans instead of loot chests. As for the inventory issue, yeah, your inventory gets filled up pretty quickly in trial chambers. Even if you do use shulker boxes and ender chests, there are just so many things to pick up and so many things that are not stackable. But if we go beyond trial chambers and we look towards the larger storage issue, I think that competent Minecraft players have gotten to the point where each build has thousands of blocks and maybe even hundreds of different types of blocks. So there's two big issues right now, where one, it's hard to transport a lot of a certain type of block, and two, it's hard to transport a lot of different types of blocks. So if we take a sneak peek on what we're going to do next episode, we can see that this shulker box is entirely devoted to only 3 different types of items. However, this shulker box is devoted to all types of items. None of these stacks are completely filled up. So a lot of them are just wasting space. You can fix this problem using bundles, however, they quickly reach to their limit. Bundles will cap out at 64 items, so it's not even useful when you're trying to transport a lot of blocks of the same variety. So really at this point, the only solution to inventory and storage issues are to increase stack size and storage slots. Again, I found these comments from other videos, so if you want me to respond to your comment, just leave one below. And yeah, this is the end of the video.